All right, here we go. I'll give just a couple seconds for people to get out of Ad Wonderland and let people know what's going on here. Try to get this to where we're both in the
You want me to skip
in the
the ad,
shot.
right?
Yeah. Just skip that. All right. So, and there's an email to let me know that I'm live. Weird. All right, guys. So, as we all know, Kate from Kate's Kitchen, that's her channel name, typically goes live at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Central Time on Sundays. Well, maybe you missed her today. So what's going on is Kate had some issues with her channel, and so we decided we collaborated this and decided to give her a chance to still go live because she's got a great deal that she wants to share with us today. And I know that our subscribers, a lot of our subscribers are also with subscribers with Kate. So if you don't know Kate, check out the description down below and check out our channel, please. So without further ado, here is our good friend, Kate.
Hi, guys. Good to see everyone on Sunday. Like Brett said, I had some issues with YouTube again today. They decided they didn't know who I was anyway, so I had to re-verify, and now I have to wait another 24 hours to go live on YouTube. I saw Joe Morgan is here. Hello, Joe. It's good to see you. How's your dad? There's Arthur Leslie.
Right on. As long as Kate and David are okay. I knew he was going to be worried.
Yeah.
Because he's in your live stream every single week.
Yes, he is.
I knew there was quite a few that are going to be, worried. I know I was watching for it, and I got your text.
And I couldn't even get in there and send a message to my subscribers telling them that I was not going to be able to get on. They don't let me do that because I don't have enough subscribers yet. So you can't send messages to your community until you have a certain size community, which I don't have yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Hi, Henry. Good to see you. But anyhow, so I told Brett and Amy about it, and they said, well, let's put you. Oh, there's Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
So they said, let's put you on StreamYard and let you go. So here I am. And thank you very much, Brett and Amy. I really appreciate being able to go. I miss you guys when I don't get to see you. So
I'm glad we were able to do this.
I am too. Very, very much. It's wonderful. I was telling, pardon me, the birds are going to be screaming because I've been quiet this morning and now I'm talking. I got a couple of really good deals recently, and I have to crow. I have to tell everybody and brag because it's such a good deal. First of all, you all know I've been dealing with pears. All my pear trees, my 2 pear trees, and then my neighbor's pear tree are just loaded down. And I've been making pear butter and sliced pears. Well, I tried something new today. I made pear jelly, and it actually turned out really well. The color is great, and cleaning out the pan, I tasted it, and it tasted beautiful, and it gelled completely on the first try. I had no problems with the gelling, so I'm really excited about that. But the deal that I want to tell everybody about happened yesterday. I went up the road to a little restaurant that David loves, and I got him some stuff to make tacos because he was having a conniption. And on the way back, I saw a sign, a little roadside stand that was selling peaches. And for any of you that know about peaches in Texas, the best peaches in Texas come from a little town called Fredericksburg. And right now, Fredericksburg is selling freestone peaches, which means that the flesh comes away from the pit and you don't have to cut them. So I stopped. And the lady was closing everything up. It was right after 5, and she was obviously getting ready to leave home. And she tried to wave me off and tell me no, but I pulled in anyway. And I went up to her and I said, how much do you have left? And she said, a lot. Why? What do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to make some peach preserves and some peach jelly and things like that. She said, well, I can give you a half bushel. I have a half bushel that's left and haven't put it in the truck yet. And I can give it to you for $85. Now, that sounds a little bit expensive until I saw how big a half bushel of peaches was. So I said, okay, I'll take it. And she loaded it in the truck, and I turned around to get my money. And I turned back to her and I said, do you ever sell your seconds, which is the peaches that are, bitten by insects and stuff. They're not as pretty as what you would want to sell. She said, why? What do you want more peaches? And I said, well, yeah, this is a lot of peaches, but it's not enough to do everything I want. So she said, I have another half bushel in the truck. And she went and got it and put it in my truck. And I said, okay, how much do I owe you? She said, well, 85 and 85, that's $170. I said, well, since this is the end of the day and you're not going to have to take them home and that's all you had left, how about I give you 140 for it? She said, okay. So I got a full bushel of the most beautiful peaches in the world for $140. And I already cut up most of the big ones to go because I've got, I'm making peach juice in there right now so that I can make some jelly. But I brought some of the medium-sized ones. And this is one of the medium-sized peaches. And here's another one. And they're all sweet, juicy. The peeling, if you get it started, you can just peel it off with your fingers. You don't even have to use a knife or anything. It just slides right out of the skin.
Wow.
And it's so juicy. While I was cutting up the ones I've got in there starting, I had peach juice running down my elbows. I was cutting it over a bowl so I could capture the peach juice. And even at that, it was running down my elbows and into the bowl.
Oh, wow.
Guys, there, and I'm so thrilled. I can't wait to get all these things done. I have been canning like crazy. I have just been canning like crazy. All fruit of different kinds. Then my bee guy, the guy that helps me maintain the bees in her yard. We now have 2 hives, by the way, instead of the 1. He came over yesterday to check on them and see how everything was going. And I've been giving him eggs because my chickens have been going crazy. They're a year old now, so they're at the prime of their life, and they've just been. I usually get at least a dozen a day, sometimes a dozen and a half a day. So he was over there, and last time he came, I sent him home with 3 dozen eggs because I had like 30 dozen eggs in my living room at that time. So when he came back, he told me that his wife and daughter do a lot of cooking, a lot of baking, and if my chickens were laid like that all the time, they would buy eggs from me instead of going to the store. And I thought, well, that's really nice of you to offer to buy them, but I'll give you eggs. You come over and take care of my bees. I'll give you eggs. That's no problem. And they said, he said, no. He said, I can't do that. I can't just let you give them to me. And I said, well, how about we do some bartering? He said, okay, what do you want to barter? And I said, well, you take care of the bees and you get the honey. Why don't we trade eggs for honey? Because I need honey and you need eggs. So he said that was good. So now I'm bartering as well. Oh. I'm getting more self-sufficient every day.
There you go.
So those are my good deals.
Networking with people in your community is so important right now.
Yes.
Okay. Now more than ever.
Yeah.
So this morning we watched a video. Rewatched a video. Amy just put it there in the chat, but we rewatched a video from a friend of ours, good guy, but he talks funny. Just kidding, just busting his chops, showing it.
He probably says, ooch.
Yeah. He says, we rewatched his video about dry canning in the oven for a long shelf life. And we actually have some flour in the oven now. And in about probably about 20 minutes, we're going to have to see about pulling that out and and covering it. Oh, we got to do the lids too. But anyway.
What?
We got to heat the lids.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, because you can't put cold lids on a hot jar.
Right.
That's not a good idea at all.
You can, but it probably won't work right.
So that's one thing we've got going on today. She also has some broth happening in the Instapot.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got going on?
Hi, Farmer's Fun Prepping. Good to see you today.
We haven't started yet, but we've got butter to can. I plan to do a video on that.
I have a case of canned butter in pints in my pantry.
We've been doing ours in half pints, the little bitty jars.
Yeah. Well, we go through so much butter in a week. I go through a pound of butter every 3 days.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's easy for us to do too.
Yeah.
But we're oven canning flour in half gallon jars, big
Mhm.
jars.
Can you do that with sugar?
I don't know. Sean may know the answer to that, but my thought was because you're doing it at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm
Mhm.
thinking what?
I can't fit the lids in the oven.
Oh, do them in the toaster. Um,
I didn't know if it would melt.
that's
'Cause
what I was
sugar will
thinking.
melt.
The sugar may melt. Arthur, we're talking about real butter, not margarine.
Sean says no to sugar.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
think.
I didn't think
I
so.
would think it would turn more like a brown sugar than it would.
No,
Like goo.
probably more caramelized.
Well, I know right now I just put mine in Mylar bags and vacuum seal them. That seems to work best, or for me anyway.
Yeah, we have at least one 5-gallon bucket of sugar with a what is it called?
Oxygen absorber.
Gamma lid. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
with gamma lid and with moisture absorbers in it too. Not oxygen absorbers, just moisture absorbers for us.
Okay. Just put sugar into a dry mason jar for storage. Well, I got a bunch of that too, Sean. More than I'd like to think about, actually.
Yeah, I think the point of dry canning or oven canning is to kill any insect larvae or eggs that make it into the flour. And
Right.
we had
that by freezing mine.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had a bunch of flour in just plastic containers that we had not oven canned yet, and one of those it did have bugs in it.
Yeah.
So we lost one of those containers.
Yeah, like I said, I freeze mine, but right now I don't have any room in the freezer. So if I bought any more flour, I'd be up the creek. But I usually freeze it, and I leave it in the freezer for 2 weeks. And then when I pour it into whatever I'm going to store it in, I run it through the sifter, and if there were any eggs or things hatching out before I froze it, they end up in the sifter and not in the flour. So it works out better, or it works out well. But I like the idea of dry canning.
Well, Amy's industrial strength shelves that she had gotten from Lowe's a while back to store food on, she kind of overdid it.
I know the feeling. Mine now, instead of being like this, go like that.
We almost had an issue, almost, because she's been canning so much meat, thanks to a sweet lady who gave her the confidence to do so. You may know her, Kate.
Yeah, I think I've heard of her. Well, I put so much on mine. I got the metal shelves like she did, and I put so much on mine. I got 4 sets of those shelves, and every shelf on each of the 4 sets drops down in the center because there's so much weight on them. So I had to go through and cut wood to fit on top, because the metal around the outside supports it. It's the flat part that doesn't. So I've been putting 2x4 pieces around to support plywood shelves.
Yeah.
But now that wood's getting so expensive, I can't do that either.
Oh my goodness! They say it's going. They said the prices are going down, but I haven't seen it yet. Of course, I haven't shopped for lumber.
Right. I looked at the weight ratings on those shelves before I bought them, and the ones I bought said they could hold up to 1,200 pounds on a shelf. And I thought, well, I'll never get more than that.
Right.
Apparently I do, because all of my shelves are bent. Thought about flipping them over and bending them back down.
Yeah. You're going to have to start supporting the subfloor.
Right. Right.
We might have to put blocks under that back corner of the house.
Yeah, right. Hey, Ed, I see you there in the chat. What's up, buddy?
You're right, Sean. A man with a 2x4 is a rich man.
Yeah.
Hi, Ed. Good to see you. Oh, Lisa, you're cooking dinner. What are you cooking? Tell us about it.
I got a box of popsicle sticks. I'm rich.
Amy says she's got a box of popsicle sticks. She's rich.
Ah, very good.
Lumber seeds. No, that would be toothpicks. Lumber
Yeah,
seeds.
there you go. I don't know what I'm going to cook for dinner tonight. Depends on what David wants when he gets up. I want y'all, everyone, to put David on your prayer list. He's not doing real well. Do chicken, broccoli, and potatoes. Oh, that sounds wonderful, Lisa.
Hey, Sean, Amy's got a question for you. Dry canning, can you do powdered milk?
Good idea.
Because that's another thing that we buy in bulk and we have trouble storing.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I've got a bunch of it.
We also have the option to. We've got the thing that goes on the food saver to vacuum out the jars. So if the dry canning, if the oven canning is unnecessary, that's another option.
I know, but on those with the powdered milk,
Thank you,
the
Sean.
vacuum sealer sucks up some of the powder and it gets between the rim and the lid, and a lot of times it won't seal for a long time.
That makes sense.
I'll tell you how I solved that problem. And I solved it that way because I saw it on another channel. I put my flour or whatever powdered substance I'm going to vacuum seal in a paper bag, and fold the paper bag up and put that down in a quart size bag and put the lid on, and you vacuum that, and the powder stays in the paper bag, and yet it still gets vacuum sealed.
Huh. Oh, see, I was talking about doing it in jars, but doing it in a bag, that makes
sense. Put the bag in the jar.
Okay.
Because the bag is more of a filter to keep the flour or whatever from getting into your vacuum sealer.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Stuart. Grammy Karen is here. Hi, Grammy.
Put down the top of it too.
Oh, that makes sense. It says, though I never have done it, there should be no reason why it can't be dry or oven canned.
Awesome.
Grammy Karen is here.
We got quite a group. Oh, thank you, Sean. Yeah, it's not. I didn't think of it. I saw it on another one, so I just stole her idea.
Oh, we have an excellent news. You may have seen it on Facebook already this morning. But for those of you who haven't seen it or don't have Facebook, our daughter Cheyenne, our oldest daughter, participated in a contest last night at what's it called? It's a local brewery, and they had Lake Charles Got Talent, and she sang and participated, and she won by a lot.
Oh, how cool!
One of the judges said, "Give me your number. You're signed." That's amazing. I'm getting chills talking about it. And that just gives me confirmation because, for so long I've said, Cheyenne, you're amazing. And she's been doing karaoke.
Right. Me too.
I said, you can go places with this. And she believed it too, but this is confirmation. This proves that it's not just, dad proud of his kid. This is real.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the response you get at karaoke, if you are really good or if you develop a following in karaoke, can be a real confirmation too. I know it was for me. Before I started getting offers, it was a real confirmation to me because people would come up and ask me to sing something that they really liked that they had heard me sing before. And it got to the point where I was doing songs that everybody asks and not new songs that I wanted to do. So. But it is a definite confirmation as well. I'm so pleased with Cheyenne. That is wonderful.
I'm really proud of her. And, when she called to tell me that this morning, I said, every time I hear you doing good and watch videos of you singing, I always think back to when you were in junior high and you were tasked to sing the national anthem, and you were so nervous. And we were at our old house, and we had a carport there, and it was me and her under the carport, and she was singing. She was trying to sing, but she was so nervous. And in the middle of a note, I kind of pushed like right in her breadbasket to make sound come out. And I said, that's what I want to hear. And she said, you know, Dad, she said, when I'm singing and I'm nervous, I think about that. I think about that
Very
moment.
good.
I was like, oh man, that's that touches my heart.
That your child remembers something that you were trying to do, and it still helps, not just that one time, but continues.
Right.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what she won, but what did she win? Some sort of a contract?
Well, I asked her that, and she said, I don't know yet. she said,
I understand that.
Yeah, she said, I've still got to talk to the judges or whatever, but she's going to go back. It's Crying Eagle Brewery. That's a hard word to say, brewery.
Yes, it is.
And she's going back today to perform.
Ah, very good.
This evening, yeah.
I know they said she was going to do an opening of some kind of concert somewhere.
Yeah, she was so excited. It was hard to really comprehend everything that she was saying. She wasn't communicating well. But she did say something about being the opening act for something or other. And I mean, it was just, I'm so thrilled.
We might be able to say, I knew her win.
Yeah, right. Vision Acres is here. Oh, and Meadow for Breakfast?
Yeah. Meadow came in quite some time ago. I've been watching him.
Yeah. Amy's working on those, sealing those jars right now.
Ah, okay. I tell you what, Brad, if you don't mind hanging on for a minute and keeping them busy, I need to go stir my peaches so they don't burn.
Well, sure.
Back.
All right, guys, they left us alone, so now we get to talk about the dirty stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll talk about Sean like that.
Sean in his video said that you can oven can pasta.
That did give me a giggle, though.
Amy and I got out yesterday afternoon and did a little bit of vine clearing in an overgrown patch, and I don't know if you can see that, but I got into some ants, and the ants they do me dirty. I must have developed an allergy to the fire ants because, oh my goodness. What do we do now? We're all alone.
Good thing I went and checked. They were getting really low on water.
Uh-oh. I'm glad you checked.
Turned them off. I got to show you. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see if I can get it up here. It's not going to give you a good enough show.
No.
They're red and brown now. They're cooked down. The juice is still yellow, but the flesh is getting brown.
And what are your plans to do with those?
I'm making juice so that I can start jelly.
Oh. Okay.
And then the pulp that's left over, I'm going to put in the dehydrator and make peach roll-ups.
Oh, that sounds so good.
They are good. And I did that with some pear the other day too, and I put raisins in with the pears, and it was really cool.
Oh, I bet.
So
I see Broussard Homestead is here. Good to have you.
I was on their channel the other day watching some of their videos too. They've got quite a few really funny videos on there.
So this is the weekend that we were supposed to be over at your place, Kate.
Yes, it is. Yes,
and we, unfortunately, we made the very difficult decision to postpone that because of the COVID restrictions that are coming back down the pipe. We didn't want to be, we didn't want to take the risk of being in Texas and then some ridiculous restriction come about that we can't come home.
Right.
Because yeah, Abby and I both work and we have animals to take care of, and the whole 9 yards. So still sad about that, but at least we get to spend this time together.
That's right. And when the restrictions get looser again, you can always come this way then.
We will definitely make plans as soon as that happens.
And like I told y'all the other night, if you end up if Amy and Abby end up having to get out because of a hurricane, they have a place to come.
We greatly appreciate that.
And of course you too, but I figured you probably be called to work. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And also, if your stepdad and stepmom want to, or godfather and godmother want to come, they're welcome as well. We'll find a way to find a bed for them too.
Okay. Oh, Idaho Hoosier gave us a super chat. How cool. Hot, smoky, and really bad air quality.
Hey, Julie, it's good to see you. I'm sorry I wasn't online this morning today on mine. I'm having YouTube issues again.
Well, we're definitely sending prayers to you and the people of your area for those wildfires and
yes,
and the effects of those.
Yeah, that's not good. I think if I use this StreamYard, okay. I have my hearing aids are programmable, and I'll program them to use with my computer, and that way I don't have to wear these lovely earring things here.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And I can hear better with them too, and they're not so hot. This is like having earmuffs on.
Yeah.
It's not earmuff weather. It might feel good in about 6 months, but right now it doesn't.
Yeah.
Let's see. Closest fire is 50 miles away from Julie.
Oh, wow.
Julie, please keep watching. If it comes anywhere near you, run, please.
Yeah, please protect yourself and your family.
And sorry about my birds. They're getting loud. I just looked out the window in there. It looks like nighttime out there. We may be going to get a little bit of rain.
Oh, wow. We got some yesterday evening. Amy and I worked outside as long as we could until right before it really downpoured because it started to feel so nice.
Yeah.
The weather was coming in from the north, so it was pushing a nice north breeze.
It was cool, and the humidity went down a little bit, probably.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I love it when that happens. Last week we were talking on our live stream about how green everything was.
Yeah.
This week it's browning.
Oh, really?
It's amazing how 1 week's difference will make a huge difference in what it looks like out the front door.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Last week it looked like spring. This week it's starting to look a lot like summer.
Who's hot in here?
Oh, Thorhaven Farm is here. Hello and welcome.
They
Oh,
definitely
that's feeling
Haiti
late.
numbers too.
Oh, that's right.
What is it, Amy?
The country of Haiti.
Yeah.
They had a
What about it?
7.2 earthquake,
Oh my gosh.
7.2 magnitude.
Yeah, it's killed about a little over 700 people. From what I
Oh,
understand.
700 confirmed now?
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And then they're also
They're in the line of fire to get
one
Tropical
possibly
Storm
two.
Fred this weekend. And then right behind Fred is Grace, which is another tropical storm system that looks like it might be heading our direction.
Oh no.
So
I
we're
gotta
keeping
hurry
an eye
up and get
on
your
it right
bedroom
now.
clean.
Right now, it's forecasted to only be a tropical storm or a Category 1 when it hits. But going over the open waters of the Gulf with this high of temperatures, who knows?
Right. And there's still so much damage left over from last year. Even a Category 1 would be a problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yep. Oh, there's Southern Boy Pepper. That's Reagan.
I thought
Oh,
he
yeah.
just came.
Hey, Reagan.
There have been
Jelly.
4 massive earthquakes within a week. In Haiti? Or just all over the place?
Yeah, what are the locations of those, Shelley? Because I only knew about the one in Haiti.
Is that Mr. Amy?
Hey,
Sean,
Sean.
hello. Good to see you.
From what I understand, the salmon fishing was pretty good for you. So, you know. Might
Our
be good.
salmon fishing is wonderful. I went to the grocery store yesterday and found a lot of it.
As a matter of fact, we did too. I splurged a little bit and I got 2 big salmon steaks from Walmart. And I cut them up and we made, I think it was 6 meals out of those 2 for
Wonderful.
about $30. So it wasn't too bad at all.
Hi, Warren. Well, we
There's
don't.
Ruth and Warren.
David doesn't like. He doesn't like salmon or most fish, so we don't eat a lot of fish here.
Oh, wow. I see. I'm just the opposite. I love any kind of fish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fish eater.
I can eat it if it's there, and I don't miss if it's not.
I don't normally choose fish. No, if it's served to me, I'll eat it. But it's not.
Right.
It's not a favorite of mine. I love shrimp.
You eat
Me
any-
too. Me
Well,
too. The grocery store that I go to on a regular basis has this little pre-made meal. It's got 24 shrimp and a little thing of the red dipping sauce for $7.
Wow.
So I get that fairly frequently because I love shrimp. David doesn't, but I love it. So I let him have tacos and I eat shrimp.
Sean, they were steaks and now they're fillets.
Kate, Idaho Hoosier is asking about David.
Oh, thank you. I just saw that. He's asleep right now, Julie. He's not feeling real well. He's been having some tough times the last few days, having trouble breathing, having trouble getting around. We have a doctor's appointment for him this coming week, and I'm hoping they'll be able to tell us something about what's going on. We're not real sure.
Well, we are definitely keeping you guys in prayer.
Thank you. That's what we ask everyone. Please, please, please keep us in prayer. That's the best thing anybody can do for us is pray for us.
Yep. Yeah, Shelly's talking about the earthquake in Alaska too. I knew about that one because I contacted Sean
Right away as soon as we saw it.
as soon as I saw it, just to make sure, because I knew that was about the area that he was in. So
Is that what area is that?
in Alaska, he's around he's around Homer, Alaska, I believe,
Okay.
which is near the Kenai Peninsula.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting those.
My jars are pinging.
Yeah.
Heard a ping.
Hey, Reagan, good to see you, buddy. Reagan talked about coming over this weekend, and I haven't heard from him.
Uh-oh.
Who's talking about coming over?
Southern Boy Prepper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he only lives, what, about 45 minutes to an hour from us?
Not even that, I don't
Very
think.
good. Very good.
Thrifty VG just came in.
Yep, north of Homer.
Hi,
on the
Thrifty. Good to see you.
Yeah, I knew that because I watch Alaska: The Last Frontier, and they're
I
not.
watch that all the time.
Well, he's not very far from them,
Ah.
so that's how I knew about the area.
Mm-hmm. I have watched that since the very first year it came on.
I think I've watched them all. I love it.
I know I have. And many of them more than once.
I thought it was pretty cool that's Jewel the singer. That's her family.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't realize
knew
that until I was watching the show, and
Right.
she showed up on one of the episodes, and they were explaining that. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sean says he's about 2 hours north of them.
Okay. Cajun Homestead. Hi, good to see you.
Hey, Bill.
Taking a break from the heat. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's getting kind of warm in here. I've got the oven going and the Instapot going and canning going and
Any dehydrators going?
No, not
no,
today.
not yet. It probably will be this evening. I'm
I've got
hoping
my
to
dehydrator
harvest. I'm hoping to harvest some oregano and basil this afternoon and get that going in there so it can run through the night.
What temperature do you do your herbs at?
I usually stick to about 95. I do the lowest temperature that my dehydrator will go. And with that, I've learned that the herbs stay green colored.
Mm-hmm.
And it does take a little while longer for them to dry,
Right.
but they stay pretty color, and the smell stays fresh.
Okay. Because I've been doing mine at 105, and they do turn brown that high.
Yep. Yep. I noticed the higher the temperature, the quicker they brown,
Mm-hmm.
and they lose a lot of their flavor and aroma.
Right. When I started doing dehydrating, I was doing them at 125, and they turn crispy real quick.
Yeah, I bet.
So I started just going down incrementally, five degrees at a time, and I sort of settled out. Because at that time, the dehydrator I had didn't go any lower, but now, of course, my magic mill does, so I'll have to try going lower with that.
Right. Well, with the round dehydrators that don't have the temperature settings,
Mhm.
I have one that's on and off.
I have one like that too.
So I was doing them in there, but they tend to dry out really fast, and
Right.
they really lose their color fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take the lid off of them, and it lowers the temperature a little bit more.
That's
Right.
good to know.
They keep their nutrients under 105.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's really good to know. But I do all of my herbs and any of my leafy greens and stuff.
At 95.
At 95. Yep.
And they stay green that way.
Yep.
Arthur,
gonna
let's
try
you luck getting out.
No, that's about this one. The other Amy.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try doing some lemon slices in the bigger dehydrator at a lower temperature too, because I noticed with the round ones again they turn almost black.
Yeah.
And
My
I
lemon slices and orange slices both turned real dark.
Yep. And they're still good, but
Mhm.
they're not very pleasing
Not
to look
pretty.
at.
Well, since I break mine up or powder them and then use them like in cookies and icings and stuff like that, you don't really see it. So it doesn't
Right.
really matter that
Right.
much. But there are times when I would like to have some dried candied citrus slices.
Yeah, I've heard those are really good. I haven't eaten any of these because they are pretty ugly to look at.
Right. BG says she dries most of her herbs hanging upside down. She also puts some herbs in a paper bag and they stay green.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that around my house. They don't dry. It's too humid.
Right.
And
Same
that's
here.
really the same problem.
Yep. See, we thought about a solar dehydrator, but with the humidity here, I don't know that it would ever dry. It would probably just mold.
I have an old dehydrator that was a professional. It was a really big, nice one, and the electronics went out on it. So I took a bunch of the trays. It had 10 trays, and I took 4 of the trays and hooked them together with chains, lightweight chain, and then put a netting over the top of it and put food in there and hung it from a tree in the backyard on a hot summer day. They didn't dry. And when I brought them back in 2 days later, they were molded. So
Yeah. And that's what I'm afraid of, because our humidity is even higher than yours.
Mhm.
So it might mold sitting out in the sun. I don't know.
It might. But you know, my sun oven says that you can dehydrate in it. So
Huh.
I've got to try that because I have the sun oven and I don't use it all that often because, first of all, I don't think about getting stuff out of the freezer and thaw it out in time to put it in early enough to cook it.
Yeah.
So if I were dehydrating herbs, that would be easy. I could just leave it set up out there and bring things in and out.
Well, we need to look into a sun oven. I think that would be a lot of fun.
They
Yeah.
are, and the nice part of them is you cook things, but they don't burn. They don't. I have not ever burned anything in a
Yeah.
sun.
I'm sure it doesn't get hot enough to burn.
Well, no, it gets up to 360. It can get up to 400, yeah. But
Okay.
it's a different kind of heat, and it doesn't burn.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Huh.
And of course, you have to adjust it if you want to do that high temperature cooking. You have to adjust it to keep the sun focused properly. So you have to ride
Right.
every 15 minutes and readjust and readjust. I
Yeah.
normally set it up facing south and leave it all day, and it gets enough to cook, but not enough to get burned.
Okay.
And you can bake
Huh.
bread in it and all kinds of things. So
That'd be pretty interesting because we could put it out near the pond and just face it south and
Yeah.
stick food in it.
yep, and go back 4 or 5 hours later, and it's cooked, but it's not dry and it's not burned.
Yeah.
Huh.
See, we have a
Kind of
friend.
like a soup.
We have a friend near us who has one. It's probably the same one. Is it the American, All American, or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
she's got the same one, and it's been a couple years now.
She made a roast.
She made a roast with gravy and had us over to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was so good.
I've done a lot of chicken dishes in it. I have done a lot of chicken dishes, but my problem is no place on my property is it even and level. It's this way or that way or
Oh, yeah.
this way. There's
Oh,
nothing
man.
level. So what I have to do is pull my seed starting table out from under cover and out into the sunshine and set it up on that because I've got it so I can adjust the legs on the seed starting table. And then I can make it level enough. It's not completely level, but enough that the sun oven works.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and I bake cookies in mine too.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bet I could fry an egg on your truck.
I bet. I've got my truck is black, and it's so hot.
When we lived in Corpus, I used to hear when I was a kid, I used to hear people say, "It's so hot you can fry an egg out there on that sidewalk." So one day I took an egg out and tried it, and it did cook it. It
Yeah.
really did cook it. It didn't fry it, of course, because there was no oil, but the whites got white and the yellows got dry. So it really
Wow.
does get hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk in Corpus.
It's what, 93 out there right now, I believe.
Oh,
92 here.
Oh, and the humidity is horrible.
Yeah. Ours is too, but we've got all this rain coming up. It's getting darker to the north right now. The south is still sunny, but to the north it's getting darker.
I don't know if we're starting to get rain bands off of those storms yet or not, or
I'm sure not.
if it's pulling, you know what I mean, from different directions.
It may be starting to affect our local weather, but I don't think the system is organized enough to have bands even.
I don't know. I'm hoping it really stays disorganized and kind of falls apart.
Right.
I don't wish that on anyone. You know, I don't want it here, but I don't want to pray that it goes to Florida or Texas or
Right.
anywhere else either.
Yeah.
Can we send it to California? They need rain.
There you go. What they're going to do? Jump over the U.S. or go the other way and jump over Africa or Australia?
I haven't seen any chat moving. I don't know if we've been disconnected or somebody. If you can hear me, say something in the chat. Let us know that it's still good.
It's been 5 minutes since the comments have moved on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Just no one was talking, I guess. That's okay.
Just need to be sure y'all were okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't disconnected.
Right.
Thank you, Amy.
95 degrees here and 18% humidity.
18%. That sounds awesome.
Right?
Well, I would love 18% humidity.
I don't think it's ever been 18% in our house.
No, never. Never.
It's always about 35 or 40 in our house with the AC on.
So
And of
our
course-
humidity, we've got the humidity that's high, and you can't sit in the shade without just pouring sweat. There's no cooling off.
37% humidity in the house.
37?
37 in the house, and almost 70 outside.
Mhm.
Which 70% is actually pretty low for us.
Sometimes folks really do this. Right?
Everyone is
One of
into
those
our
y'all's
lives.
conversation. But no, on that note, I was listening to Sean's live last night while driving and couldn't really
Yeah,
chat.
right.
You know, Brett was doing some chatting, but I had him plugged into my car so that like the surround sound, all the sound was going through my car. So
I
That's
have that
pretty
on my phone paired in with my truck too, and it took some getting used to because the phone would ring, and I would hear it in my hearing aids, and then when they pick up, I'd hear them in my hearing aids and on the sound on the speakers on the truck.
Oh,
And I'd
Oh,
wait a
wow.
few seconds, and then the truck would take over, and my hearing aids would shut off. It was like, oh, where are we coming from?
wow.
I've gotten now to where it rings here and then comes through the speakers. So it's not so confusing. But at first it was very confusing.
Yeah, I bet.
oh, yeah. It's not good for them. That makes it perfect fire conditions for that low humidity. That's not good.
More
Oh,
than an inch of rain since March. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
and
I
see,
had a
we've
4
had
inch
more
of rain.
rain. We've had more
I had-
rain this year than normal.
We have this year way more than normal. I was going to say, I had a 1/4 inch rain this morning. They called it a heavy dew.
No. Thrifty says you guys can make some really good water with a dehumidifier. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go outside and take a deep breath, and it's like you're drinking the air.
Really.
It's gross.
I was showing at North Shore Preparedness got a little bit fired up in his live stream last night. I was right there with you, Sean.
Oh yeah, if you could hear the comments coming out of Brett's mouth as he's watching the live stream, it's hilarious. It's like watching a good movie, and he's fussing and he gets just as animated as Sean does. It's great.
David gets frustrated with me when we watch a movie because I'll critique it.
I
Oh.
do too.
We'll be watching a movie and I'll see, like, we were watching one the other day and something came up that was so obviously not right. In real life, could not have happened that way. And I stopped and went, wait a minute, that can't happen. He goes,
Yeah.
yeah, I know, but it's a movie.
You should hear. Yeah, Brett does the same thing when watching like firefighter movies. He's like,
Right.
that show is not right.
Yep. No,
I'm
I
like, I
will
know,
watch.
but it's a movie. He's like, I know, but that wouldn't even happen.
Right. Sometimes we'll watch old Westerns and you'll see the mic boom or you'll see a car go by and it's supposed to be the 1800s Western.
Oh.
Oh, whoops.
I go, did you see that?
Sean,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Very tired of it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go. All right, that's enough. I'm going to have to go watch some of Sean's lives again, get caught up on him. I've been trying to get caught up on some other folks that I've been ignoring lately. Shame on me.
We rewatched one of Sean's, well, the dry canning live that he did, not live, video that he did.
Mhm.
And, it was a year and a day ago that he put it out because he says the date at the beginning of it. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
Really?
But he
Well,
looks so different now.
Do something with.
Just in a year's time, he looks so different.
Does he?
Yeah, like his beard was all trimmed, and
So only about as long as mine is right now.
yeah, it was like, wow.
You've got a little
What happened to
scruffy, have you?
Sean?
So you're getting scruffy, Sean. David's always amazing. His beard will get really long and bushy, and then he'll trim it, and I won't notice it right away. And he'll go, You women are so bad. You expect us to notice everything right away, and you never see it. Look, I cut 4 inches off my beard, and you didn't even notice. And he's right. I'm bad about that. I really am. But then I don't expect him to notice when I change things either. So. Meat and potatoes live stream usually start about 10 minutes in. Aha. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard the lockdowns and stuff and the restrictions in Canada are way, way worse than us.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. They don't hardly let you breathe there.
Right.
And I've heard Australia is really, really bad too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard anything about Australia.
There's not a whole lot in the mainstream news.
I saw that is it New South Wales?
Mhm.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. They're using their army and helicopters to make sure people stay in their homes.
In their homes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
It's bad. It's bad.
What do they do if they have to get groceries or go to a doctor or anything like that?
Right?
I don't know.
That's scary.
It's scary to think about that, it's pushing this hard. Australia is in its 6th lockdown.
That's awful.
Did anybody hear that the Chinese ports have been closed?
I did see that. Yep.
I've heard that they've been closing a lot in China and doing it with the military.
Wow. Mandates in France and Greece, yeah.
And huge protests over those too.
Yeah.
You see, Haiti's dealing with the COVID stuff, and there was an assassination of their president.
Oh my goodness.
And then now with the earthquake, and then they're in the line of fire for 2 major, well, not major, but 2 storm systems coming up within the next, I think, 7 days.
Well,
they're supposed to get hit by both of them.
Don't forget too, Haiti is the country who was helped so much by the Clinton Foundation a while back.
Yeah.
Oh, Australia used the helicopters to chase folks off the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
Yep.
That's crazy. They just reinstated our mask mandate, but there's not a whole lot of people that are enforcing it.
Right.
So far. I know Louisiana has a lot of stuff going on right now. The parents are fighting the mask mandates in schools.
Well, I know that going from Texas over to Arizona, they're stopping cars on the highway and asking them for proof of vaccinations now.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend whose kids live in Arizona and she lives here in Texas, and she went that way. She said she got into a big traffic jam because they were doing that.
So are they not letting people cross if they're not?
She didn't say. I'm assuming that's what it was, though.
Wow.
But I know that the hospitals over there are just totally overwhelmed by this new version that has started hitting. It's not the 19, it's some other beta or gamma or something. I don't know the name of it.
See, they're telling us that too here, and then someone got a hold of the actual numbers from the Louisiana Department of Health.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not that high. They're not as high as what they're reporting.
Well, my girlfriend's daughter is a nurse in one of the larger hospitals in the area, and they have no beds available. None.
But see, what's happening here is the ICU beds are low, but they're putting people into ICU that don't necessarily need to be in ICU.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody
They
with
don't have beds anywhere else?
I don't know. I think they're trying to make it look like the ICU is full. Well, technically it's full, but it's full of people that have a COVID positive test, but they don't necessarily need the requirement of ICU.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that they're doing, and I've seen this firsthand. I've seen this firsthand. They're when someone gets a positive result, they're just sent home.
Hmm.
They're just sent home. And anybody with any basic medical knowledge knows that early intervention is the key to success in treating anything.
Right.
So these people go home and they're told if your symptoms get worse, then come back. Well, by
They
then it's
spread it
too late.
everywhere.
It's very escalated, and then they need ICU.
Hmm.
And they're about to. They're if they haven't already, they're about to start doing that with our children. I'm afraid.
Well, we need to get everybody taking elderberry syrup.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
know David gets his every day, and now he gets wild lettuce as well.
Well, we're taking the elderberry syrup. We've upped our vitamins, zinc and vitamin C and
And
vitamin
vitamin
D.
D3.
Yeah, I take
Things like that. I mean, we're taking precautions.
We spend time in the sun and get vitamin D that way.
Oh yeah,
I do a
Well,
lot of that kind of
that is-
vitamin D.
yeah. For vitamin D, all you have to do is just go stand outside for what I think they say 20 minutes a day. I should have my year's worth in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Right. When I go down to feed my chickens, it's a quarter of a mile between my house and the chicken coop. So I walk down there and deal with the chickens and deal with the ducks and clean the water and all that, and then walk back. So I get about a half a mile in the sunshine.
Okay.
And
Ed
I'm
says
so
he
well.
drove I-40 through Arizona to California and back. Is that the highway that you were just referring to, Kate?
I don't know.
Oh,
She
okay.
didn't tell me what. She just said that she went to visit her daughter, and they were checking for vaccination.
Hmm.
Oh, the dog's letting himself out again. He's finally learned to go up to the screen door and push it with one foot and go out.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nice. I don't have to let him in or out because he learned how to let himself in long before he learned to let himself out.
Isn't that something? It's easier for them to get in. That you would think it would be easier for them to just push and get out.
Mm-hmm.
But
When he tries to get in, he has to put his hand around or his paw around and pull the door open.
right.
He figured that out quicker than push. I don't understand.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Oh, Drop Stanley is here. Hi. I didn't see you come in.
Yeah, good idea. Drops. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like, and we've talked about that. The masks in schools. Okay, there's a big pushback by parents right now here in Louisiana on that. We've been homeschooling for over 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with the mask in the schools, but we don't have an iron in the fire.
Right.
So I can be upset, but I can't really argue.
And I'm in the same position you are. I don't have an iron fire either because my grandchildren are out of school. So my kids are in their 40s. My grandchildren are going into their 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're doing like fundraisers and things with the school, and
Oh, that was one I saw it on Facebook. You talking about the one?
yeah.
There was a particular school. I don't remember the name of the school. It was a high school, and they did a fundraiser, or not a fundraiser,
Food drive or clothing drive or
a
something.
donation drive. It was for socks and shoes, and it was to collect up socks and shoes to give to the needy. Well, the class who won first place won 30 minutes mask free.
Ah, cool.
Second place, 25 minutes mask free. Third place, 20 minutes mask free. Now you tell me, okay, if the mask does what they say it's supposed to do, did they just give those kids
Infect the whole
death sentence?
school. Probably. Probably. I
Either
heard
that or
of-
the whole thing is a sham.
Well,
One
I
of the
heard recently that there was a doctor on YouTube that was saying that the masks that are being put out that we're all using cannot filter out the virus because the virus is smaller than the holes in the masks where they build them.
Right. In the fabric mask, that's for sure. And if you buy paper masks, then it says right on the box, it says two things. It says made in China, and it says it's not meant for protecting you from the coronavirus.
Right.
Well, or any virus that in that instance, because the water droplets that carry the virus in your air and
Sneeze
exhale,
or whatever.
right, is like microscopically small. So it still can go through those masks.
Right.
But if the masks do work and they won 30 minutes without a mask, did you just say, hey, you want a death sentence?
I'm finding it harder and harder to disagree with what Southern Bliss just put there. 'Cause at first I was like, no, that's not. And then it's becoming more and more real.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing with that is the Bible says the mark of the beast will be on your forehead or your right hand. So they're still not giving us vaccines on our forehead or right hand.
No, you're right. That part doesn't fit.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Speaking of doing things for the homeless and for needy people, I have started making sleeping mats again for the homeless.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, what I do is I collect the garbage, the plastic bags that you get, like Walmart bags and stuff like that, cut them into strips and hook the strips together and crochet mats. And they can put that down on the ground and then put their sheet or blanket over it, and it gets them up off the ground enough that they can get warm in cold weather, and it gets dry in wet weather.
That's cool.
I started doing that again. Mom is saving her bags for me, and so are several of my friends around here. So. I used to do it a lot.
I bet I could ship some bags to Kate when I send her the elderberry kits. Wonder how many plastic bags I could fit in a box.
I'll tell you what, you can fit a lot of them because I fold mine up to store them until I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
And I take those little shipping boxes and it takes 470 bags to make one mat. And one of those little shipping boxes about 18 inches across will hold almost half of that if you fold them up neatly.
Wow.
So you can get a lot in one of those bags. Or one of those boxes, right?
Yes, I thought about that too, Sean.
Yeah.
What did he say? We'll hold it down.
I could really get off of this stuff, so I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that to you, Kate, because you're our guest.
Oh man, yeah.
I got broad shoulders. You can pick on me.
No. It wouldn't be picking on you. It would just be. You're not a part of that, really. So,
okay.
If you disagree, I don't want you here for people to, to think that you do agree. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, because he can go off on a tangent sometimes. Him and Arthur Leslie talked on the phone one night, and 4 hours.
And I'm not much for talking on the phone. So Arthur.
Wow.
4 hours. I think they were trying to beat my record.
I was going to say, Amy, you and I've talked a long time, but we've never talked that long before.
Oh, me and Mary have talked on the phone for, I think the longest time was 4.5 hours.
Okay. That's exactly what I was going to say, Arthur. Exactly what I was going to say.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And the Bible does use that metaphor in other places in the Bible. The right hand represents what you do, and the forehead represents what's at the forefront of your mind.
Or how you think.
How you think. Mm-hmm.
North Shore said y'all got a bromance.
He's just jealous.
Well, guys, we've been on for an hour.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm getting a little tired of this chair.
Well, I'm not necessarily getting tired, but I got at least half a bushel of peaches I got to process today.
Yeah. I've got some broth to finish, and I've got flour going, and I have to bring Abby to work at 4.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Abby.
You forgot about Abby?
Abby from the other room goes, wow.
Well, again, guys, thank you so much for helping me get online. I really appreciate it, because I thought
I'm so glad we were able to do this, and hopefully you get tons more subs
That would be lovely.
Yeah,
really
that way, you know, build your channel, and hopefully by next week you'll have everything situated so you can go live again on your channel.
I hope so. Y'all
Oh,
take care.
All right.
you too.
Bye.
Love you, Kate. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody. God bless.